Daktari, before we move on to another subject, we were still on what is happening in Uganda's political scene. And interestingly enough, here in Kenya, what we witnessed is we were treated to a series of social media posts by General Muhoozi just recently. Of course, the Nairobi and Kampala have both downplayed those sentiments. I want to get your thoughts on this. I don't know if you got an opportunity to look at those tweets. You know, it did create a lot of debate here in the country, in Uganda as well. What are your thoughts on that particular issue?
Well, you see, we really find it difficult to understand what General Muhoozi really thinks, you know, his role is, because you see, he is a serving officer, first of all. And this, I think, demonstrates more than anything else the point I was telling you, that our military institution itself is a captive of the family, that it does not function as a military institution. Because you cannot be a serving officer of an army, a disciplined force, and you act the way he acts. Because all those things he publishes from his social media account, which he has labeled as the official page, official account at that time of the chief of the commander of land forces. So he was posting on his official, you know, timeline as the commander of land forces, saying, you know, in 2 weeks I will be in Nairobi, and you start preparing where you will sleep. and you know, one would dismiss it if we have not had similar people. Some people thought were maybe not properly hinged, but who caused us a lot of problems. Because don't forget that Idi Amin claimed a part of Kenya and also a part of Tanzania. He started with Tanzania, and Tanzanians didn't take kindly to his claim over their territory, and that's how he was eventually bombed out of Kampala. There has been an issue of Mijingo Islands still lingering in the background of a conflict of territory with Kenya. So for a head of forces to make such you know, statements, they cannot be taken lightly. Whatever is driving him to make such statements. And so we expressed grave concern ourselves, and expectedly, you know, the Kenyans indeed didn't take it, you know, quite kindly, and they responded very, very robustly, I think. I think legitimately. But you can see what the response of the government was.
Excuse me.
To promote him. Not to try him, not to sanction him. Even if he was to be forgiven, at least it should be through a formal process of appearing through a disciplinary process.
What is going on? What do you think is going on with what is happening, of course, there when you see General Muhoozi making such statements, and you have, you know, the president, who's his father, completely, you know, just downplaying.
Yeah. So
matters.
Is
it political? Do you read politics in it?
There is politics in it, all right, but there is also decadence. You see, once somebody has been in power for 4 decades, unaccountable power, where you have, you know, you are like a monarch, an absolute monarch, no accountability. You don't know what is happening. You are buffered off. You really don't know what is on the ground. And so the people, I think, are Museveni himself and the people around him, certainly his family, like this General Muhoozi. When Museveni took over power in 1986, he was in primary school. You know, he was being driven to primary school and back. So all his life he has lived in the State House. He has never known life of an ordinary Ugandan. And so some of the and they have come to believe indeed that they can do absolutely anything and get away with it. And that's why, you know, it's not that the only outrageous thing, you know, talking about Congo. Even as your forces were preparing to go to Congo to deal with what had prompted that deployment, a rebel force called M23, General Muhoozi went on the same platform and said, anybody who wants to attack M23 will be making a very, very big mistake. You cannot attack M23. They are fighting for the rights of Tutsi. And, you know, we will support them. Nobody should attempt to attack them. You know, and it's still there. This time, his father has not said anything. So your forces are in Congo. I don't know how they relate with his forces.